Luke Durbin was a young man. He was just 19 years old. He lived in a small town called Hollesley in Suffolk, England. It was a quiet place. He lived with his mother, Nikki. He lived with his younger sister, Alicia. He was a son. He was a brother. People who knew him said he was kind and friendly. He loved music. He enjoyed spending time with friends. He enjoyed spending time with family. He had a job working in a local kitchen. He was just starting his adult life, full of the usual hopes and plans that a teenager has. Nothing about his life seemed out of the ordinary. He was simply a typical young man, living a typical life in the English countryside. So when he didn't come home, it was immediately strange. It was out of character. The evening began with Luke and a friend. They travelled from Hollesley to Woodbridge. They arrived in Woodbridge and went to a pub called the King's Head. They had a few drinks. Later, they headed to a nightclub in Ipswich. The club was called Zest. Luke and his friend got separated. This is common on nights out. Luke was now on his own. The time was ticking towards the early hours of Friday morning, May 12th. He left the nightclub alone. He tried to get a taxi home, but he didn't have enough money for the fare. Without a phone and without enough cash, his options were becoming very limited. He was seen on CCTV footage. These images are the last confirmed sightings of him. He was seen at around 3:45 a.m. near Ipswich train station. The last known sighting was at 4 a.m. on Dog's Head Street, heading towards the bus station. After this moment, he vanishes. It is as if he walked off the face of the earth. The digital trail simply comes to an abrupt and complete stop. When Luke didn't return home on Friday, his mother, Nikki, began to worry. The worry grew stronger with every passing hour. She started making calls. She called his friends. No one had seen him. She called his workplace. No one had heard from him. Nikki reported her son missing to the Suffolk police. The police launched a major investigation. They appealed to the public for information. Posters went up across Suffolk. They searched the areas where he was last seen. They used search teams and helicopters. They interviewed his friends and anyone who was at the Zest nightclub that night. But despite all their efforts, they found no sign of Luke, no clues. In the months that followed, police investigated a group of men from London. They arrested several people over the years, but no one was ever charged in relation to Luke. The police received a tip-off about a dark blue Renault Megane. Despite appeals, the car and occupants were never definitively identified. This piece of the puzzle remains missing. Years have passed since Luke Durbin disappeared. It is now 2025. Nearly 2 decades have gone by, yet the case remains unsolved. Suffolk police treat it as a murder investigation. This is the grim reality that his family has had to live with. The absence of answers is a special kind of torment. It means there is no closure. The story just stops, frozen in time on that morning in May 2006. His mother, Nikki, has campaigned tirelessly to find out what happened to her son. The police believe that people in the local community know what happened. They believe a small group of individuals hold the secret to Luke's fate. Perhaps they are afraid to speak. But the silence has held. This is the most frustrating part of the case. The story of Luke Durbin is a sad one. It's a story of a young life cut short. It's a story of a family's pain that does not end. People in Suffolk still remember Luke. It's become a local tragedy, and until someone decides to break the silence, the question, what happened to Luke Durbin, continues to hang in the air unanswered.